Okay. So one of which is GIS. So the technical analyst they have like a GIS team for them. And then when the lady moved into this role, she kind of looked at the structure and she found out that the scoping was not properly
What's
structured.
GIS?
So GIS is
Um,
geographic information system. So it is
so
a foundational system of record that they can store and integrate information from the business system. So they have like they can store like data from like mapping and all of
what
those
does the
things.
system itself do? The GIS
It's,
itself.
it's
It
store.
analyzes and displays geographical reference information or something like that. I
Okay.
just checked online. Yeah. So
Okay.
they use it to track their work that has been performed in prior years. And also they
Mm.
can use it to track current work. And it has mapping and features.
They want to move that to Azure. Is that what you...
Yeah. Or cloud in yeah, Azure.
Okay.
So
So they want you to do a business case for that.
yeah, but they just want me to handle the scoping area and the cost benefit.
Do you guys have
Now,
the project objective? Like, what's the project objective before we now go to the scope? Because that's the beginning.
No,
my
I don't have.
migration. So so what they want is that they want you to migrate the GIS, platform to
Yeah,
Azure.
but I've not finished so that you understand. Let me finish reading.
Okay,
Okay.
go on. Yeah.
So now, I'm coming. So what they have done is they have moved the test service and the dev servers already on cloud. They have it on-prem. So they've moved those two to cloud. And because they have the utility network already in production, so they haven't moved production. And the reason why they have not moved the production server is because the amount of work that is going to take the technical team to actually rebuild all of the GIS layers, like all of the mapping system, it's going to take about 12 months,
Mm.
which is a very long time. So all of the different mapping layers that they have, so because of the move of the servers, going from Oracle to SQL, it means that, yeah, somebody has to do that for 12 months to rebuild all of those layers and new server. And they said they don't want to do that. So the key thing this person needs from me is that they're asking, like, what are their options at this time? Do they have to leave it and not migrate the server at all? What is the risk and issues to that? What are the cost of living?
Hmm.
And because there's cost associated with having a physical server, are
Hmm.
they going to be
Mhm.
needing to upgrade the server? So yeah, the basic thing is costing if
Hmm.
they if we leave it or do nothing.
Hmm.
What are the pros and cons if we move it to cloud?
Hmm.
So we could move it to cloud and convert it to SQL, which was the current original plan. But again, what are the costs? Yeah, what's the
So they
cost?
need to move that Oracle, all those configuration to SQL,
Yes.
MySQL.
MySQL.
Um, yeah, so got some ideas. So pretty much what they are saying is now your scope of work really. So the objective here is they actually want to consider moving that GIS platform to cloud.
Okay.
However,
Mhm.
however, they need to be sure that it is financially viable and makes sense.
Mm.
Now, you've given some conditions, things that are known today. From technical perspective, what they are saying is all the configuration that is required for it to run on production on cloud, it will take them 12 months to implement.
Yes.
The question is what is actually taking them 12 months?
Yeah.
Like why is that? What is it, to rebuild all the query or to migrate like what exactly? Can you read that part again? They said that thing they said will take 12 months.
Okay.
Nancy, do you have it in a screen? Like maybe you can share a screen, or you have a pen down.
I'm
Actually,
thinking
my
because
teams,
it's the
for my teams, I actually
the
I know
recorded,
it's
tracking.
I had the
yeah, it's
transcript,
that.
so I can't. So that's why I'm reading from my
Yeah,
phone because I have teams on my phone.
give me,
Okay.
I'll read it out. Don't worry.
give me,
I'll just
give
go
me.
back.
Thank is
So
Nancy.
I'm reading it again. The production servers mainly is okay because of the amount of work that will take the technical team to rebuild all of the GIS layers. So all the different mapping layers that they have, so all of the different, I need to go sorrow data. So they have different mapping layers, and they have to move all of it from Oracle to SQL. So it means that the technical team would take 12 months to rebuild all of those layers and the new server in the new server.
Wow. Did they
All of
scope?
the layers in the new servers.
Yeah. So that's your scope first. Like you need to know, like you need to go and probe. You need to go and probe,
The
like
technical
from
knowledge.
next week.
Yeah.
How did
I'm
they? Is
having a
there a
meeting.
plan?
So I'm
Yeah.
having a meeting with him because all of these things, Seth, it was just under like just 30 minutes just to give me an overview. Like, okay, is this something
Yeah,
I want
that's
to
why. Yeah,
do? I'm
that's
like,
why I
okay,
need you,
yes, I want to get my hands
because
on it.
Let's
if
just
you
focus
don't
on what
know,
you want to go and say there.
So why I
if
called
you,
this meeting is I'm going there on Monday. Like I know I'm supposed to ask him questions, but I don't want to ask stupid questions. I don't want to look
yeah, yeah.
You
I
need
don't
to
want
So
to look like I don't know what I'm saying or
no,
I'm not asking the right
you're not
question.
gonna, you're not gonna ask stupid questions. So and here is why. So it's just like you want to buy something, right? And somebody is saying, well, before you can buy this thing and to work in your house, I would need 12 months to go and fix some configuration, install some things, right? And yeah, so you'll be alarmed like, why is this thing gonna take 12 months?
Mhm.
That's what we want to get in layman's term. So
Yes,
that thing that the technical team has talked about, they said they want to rebuild the layer. Like
yes,
they want
Yeah.
to rebuild the layer. First, you need the first question is, of course, appreciating that you are new in the environment. But
yes,
any BA will be new. Even if I'm working on, I'll be new. I want to understand how, walk me through this, the way this thing is GIS layer or implementation is today, right? So just to gain an understanding, maybe he can't walk you through everything in a call, but he wants to send you a documentation that you can quickly refer to. That would be one, right? Now, the reason you're asking for that is because you want to try and understand why that layer, right, would be would take 12 months, right? So now you also ask, was there an analysis done or scoping or estimation done on the depth of work that, like, how did they arrive at that 12 months effectively? Somebody would have done some analysis to say, hey, based on this reconfiguration, based on this requirement, based on all of these things that we're going to rebuild on product on Azure or Oracle or MySQL, these layers, this one will take 2 months, this one will take 3 months, this one will take 4 months, this one will take 1 month. A summation of them will now make it 12 months. So you need that, you understand, you need that analysis. You need a report like the estimation. So you want to ask, is there any estimation or analysis done to arrive at that 12 month? Hopefully there is. If there is not, then you want to ask, can you, like, you're not like, you just need to be confident in how you act. I'm just keen to understand, like, this layer we talk about that we need to review. You can what are the things we'll be doing to rebuild it? It can walk you through that. You understand? Let's
And
now say,
document,
yeah,
like you can also ask them if there's a document that where they did sort of like the work breakdown. Have they gone into that depth?
exactly.
Or someone just decided, based on based on their understanding of the mapping layers, it will take 12
Guesstimate.
months. How do they come to that conclusion? You need to know the work, first of all, what does this entail? Right? Once you know it, then you will not be able to say, okay, in 12 months, can we phase it, or do we need to literally move all the layers in 12 months? But you can't really go into deep details to OJ's point if you don't understand what the mapping layer is, first of all. And
Because
yeah,
those things are like your scope
yeah,
for the for point A, which is this is the work required for us to migrate.
yeah,
You need those details
yeah.
because that is really the scope. Scope is like what are the requirements, Mister, I'm in a meeting. What are the requirements for that migration? And the crux of it, a technical team telling you, oh, it's going to take 12 months. You, as a BA, you want to probe and know what exactly are we doing? What's the work breakdown? What are the things we're going to do to what? To arrive at that 12-month. Hey, hey.
And even ask them, Nancy, do they do like a, a project plan? Is there a schedule of work that needs to be done? If they've gone into that level of analysis, that is assuming that they have. If they haven't, then maybe they are relying on you to support them through the facilitation of that exercise.
Because the scope is not known right now. That's why they are saying you need to know. Because if you don't know that scope, the scope will affect everything else. Because once you get that, for example, if they come back and tell you, oh, Nancy, actually, because we need to configure this layer part, like I don't know how that GIS system works, but like maybe it has so many complex layers, and they tell you layer one is going to take 1 week, the next one will take 3 weeks, the next one will take 4 weeks, the next one will take 2 weeks, 1 week, like that. Maybe there are 12 or 20 layers, and a combination of that effort is what makes it 12 more. Now, you now have something to work on, like to work with. So you have 12 things they've now told you, 12 layers. You now say, okay, I'm getting started with the scope. These
Yeah.
are the 12 things that made that 12-month timeline. Now you've gotten some form of scope for the migration effort on lock, right? You need to now ask, is that the only thing we need to do? Is it just the migration alone that we need to consider? If they say yes, okay, good. So we know that, okay, to configure that thing, which it won't be only that, because they still need to migrate the actual thing, the system, to Azure. So maybe that takes another 1 month or whatever. You need to now sum all that effort and what is required to migrate the GIS system to, the first part is configuring the layers.
Yeah.
They've not even talked about migrating the GIS system to Azure. There's work involved in migration, as you know. They need to migrate the system to cloud. So there's work involved. So you need to also know who is going to do that migration. Then you now go and speak to that person. What is involved to migrate a GIS system of this nature, right, to Azure DevOps? Assuming so the person is doing it internally, or maybe it's Microsoft person that needs to give you that estimate. Or if they don't have, if they say, oh, it's Microsoft that will tell us the migration effort, then you can pen that down like, okay, this part is unknown. We need to find out what the effort will be.
And OJ, what is coming to my mind right now is I'm seeing two different phases to this work because they're merging a lot of things together. So that the mapping layer activity is a step towards migration. It's not the core migration itself. And from what they're saying, it's the first thing that they want to do. So in my
Yeah,
mind, I'm phasing it. So because that's how we show value as a BA. We are not modeling everything together. Let's understand this activity because that's what they've called out to you, right? They want to do the mapping layers, and it's a 12-month activity. After that is when the migration occurs. So I'm guessing phase one is even understanding the mapping layers. We literally take 12 months. Did they say 12 months because they don't have enough resourcing? And if we throw a lot of people in there, could we achieve it in 6 months?
Exactly. Right?
You know that our phase two, I'm helping you pen some things down anyway, so it will be clear to you. So phase two
But
is
right as well, so you
you'll
don't
be able
have
to
to watch
consolidate.
boring video again.
I'm
Um,
helping. I think
but
so.
anyway, so that's like the idea, because in project management, something might take longer time, but like not even in project management. And if you want
Generally,
to build a house, if you have bigger budget, you can constrain the time. So if they say 12 months, is it possible that maybe we spend more and we get it done in 4 months, right? Because we put more people to work on it. Maybe, maybe not. That's part of what will form your cost benefit later, right? But just at least let's keep it simple. We keep it simple now. We just want to find out what are that layer thing that we want to spend 12 months on, as we've discussed. Second thing is the second part of the work, which is the actual migration. Moving GIS to Azure will take effort. It might take mapping, it might take system mapping or whatever. I don't know what they will need to do Azure
hypercompiler,
migration,
movement, and everything.
but yeah, but that is also part of the scope and your requirement. What is involved to migrate GIS to Azure? Who do I need to talk to that will be involved in that migration? Or who does the migration? Or who
Who's the
is a
portal?
mark, who is supposed to do that migration, right? So all of those questions would help you map out who you need to speak to,
Also,
correct? So
Yeah.
yeah.
sorry, Noah. From what Nancy said, what I'm interpreting the message as is there's actually something that is a little bit critical right now. Nancy, correct me if I'm wrong. So they've done an initial work of the test service, the dev servers as well. They've moved those, right? And they've also
Yeah.
moved the utility network in production. However, they have production has not been moved. I'm thinking because that has been moved from a system point of view, they want to understand because we've done that initial groundwork. Are there any risk that we need to be aware of? Are there any issues? Can that cause issues? Because that is like half-baked work that is being done. And they're saying that the completion of that work, they're not quite sure how they would implement it. And I think they want Nancy to delve deeper because we have the test servers move, we have the dev servers move. It will be costing them a lot of money, the way that I'm seeing it right now. And it's just sitting.
So,
Yeah, we're still getting
so
there. I just
okay.
want us to go step by
Do
step,
step by step.
right?
Okay.
Because there's still that part of the work. I just want us to go step by
I'm
step. So
thinking,
we've know, okay, what actually is that 12 months first.
Okay.
Second stage, we want to also know what
The
it will
actual
take for
migration, what it will take.
migration effort, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once we know that one, that is the scope of actually doing the migration, right? That is the scope of work to do the migration itself, all things considered. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, we have not gone into cost, but going into that level of detail, you can now work on, okay, so if all of this being considered, how much will it cost for that migration?
mhm,
You'll be able to get you'll be able to get an idea of what it will cost. For example, if they say, oh, as we've discussed, 12 months is actually 12 months, and then it is maybe four devs that will work on that mapping. You want to cost their salary or their time or whatever metrics they use to cost their resources, right? You cost that, you will form, and if there are other external costs, you will then map that out like, okay, we'll pay salary for people that would work on it, we'll pay for this equipment, these tools, this whatever. You will map it out, and that will begin to form the cost of that effort. Then you will now do the part B, which is the migration as well. If it's Azure DevOps engineer from Microsoft, how much are they charging, for that effort? And you would have known the scope of work, so you'll be able to do the effort, right? So you'll be able to then do the cost for migration.
Nancy, do you have a
You
PM
get
on that?
that?
Okay.
So the woman is like basically the PM.
Yeah,
So
Or you need to ask her questions too. How
yeah.
do they do
now
their
that's the thing
costing?
now. That's the thing now. She's
And
new
resource.
to this and she
Yeah.
just picked it up. She doesn't understand it.
Okay, she
You
does
need to
that.
all work together to ask how have they done costing before, because you don't know if they cost based on the salary they pay developer, who, or there's a quote that is sent to them by external consultant that does it.
Yeah,
So you need to know how they do costing
yeah.
in the organization. But the idea is we want to know how much we all of those things cost, right? And that's that part A of migration. Now
Not
the
good.
second part is if we stay as is,
Yeah.
you know, the way we
That
are
is, if
now.
we don't migrate.
That is if we don't migrate, right? That's the second part. The way we are now, what is it costing us? Right? What are the risks? What are the issues? So we will do it for both as well. But let's do part B, right?
Okay, so
To
should I
say,
put gap analysis for Nancy there? Then I think that that would be really helpful if they could.
Ah,
yeah, you can put it.
I think it would
So
be
all
really
these things to our gap, they
yeah,
are,
the current
they are
state.
doing the current state now, right? So the current state now, because there's a reason why they are telling you to do this business case. They need to measure if we stay now, given that test environment, cloud, dev environment, cloud, now production, issue. You want to know how long did it take them to configure test environment? How long did it take and what effort did it take them to migrate the dev environment? So those type of thing, right? Is very important. Did they take 12 months as well?
Mhm.
Or is it because it's test environment? Maybe they don't have a lot of layers and servers to configure. That might be why it is faster or easier. You want to know that type of information, right? So it's very important. But then, more critically, what is the risk, right? What is the risk of staying the way we are now?
Mhm.
You want to find that out, right? Are there any risk? Are there any pain? So if we stay the way we are now, maybe there's no risk, but are there going to be pain considering that test environment, dev environment is on cloud, and then our production is on prem? Is there not that's disparity, right? So it's not jiving. So what is the implication of that? You hear a lot. They will tell you a lot of things.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now you also want to know. Now they talked about that SQL and whatever. So if they say our current stuff is on Oracle for production, right? Is it the same query that so when our dev and test is now on cloud, is it that one too is on Oracle or is on MySQL? They wanted to configure the new thing to MySQL on production. You need to ask, like, is dev and test, is he already on MySQL? Because you can't have MySQL on dev and test and you have Oracle on production
Mm.
today. That's still a conflict. So you want to know like all of those things. Um, we talk about server. This is where costing will now start to come into play,
Infrastructure.
right? The infrastructure, the server, to maintain it today versus to migrate it. So
Sorry.
it's you. Sorry.
yeah, thanks.
Sorry.
If our data is growing, I don't know how quickly that GIS data grows, but if our data is growing, is it easy to scale our server on-prem versus cloud? How much will that cost us? So you need the technical team for that information. See, this is what I mean. Like if you have a easy Nancy.
It's fine. It's
No,
fine.
no. So you're not going to ask all of these questions. We're just giving you enough,
Bank.
question in your bank, right, to get
Don't.
started. So you're like you said, you don't want to go and ask stupid question and not have some prep, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like in the meeting you will ask all of these questions. We're just trying to explain and give you enough data to work with. So you can go there and just say, okay, run me through how it can be the first 2 or 3 questions you ask, and then they will tell you so many things, and then you start to connect in your head, like, oh, I get this part, I get this part. You ask follow-up question. So trust me, relax, it's not that daunting.
I was
The
even
reason
thinking,
why we're going deeper is to give you more perspective, more understanding of what is there. You get, so when you do your costing, it will make sense, and your scoping to make sense in your business case. It's not something that is just abstract.
yeah, because the way that I'm seeing this, it's a project, right? Or is it just like the BAU? Is it a project?
So that's it. They've it's a project because they funded it, like the money is they've approved the money. But
Okay,
the person that I think they just stopped when they found out that this production thing is going to take
that
they
period
moved
of time.
12 months. And then this new person just picked it up and she's like, okay, yes, they have the money, but she wants to, before
They
she
don't
does
know. There's
anything,
no
she wants
detail.
to know what is the cost of and what is the benefit, the
Yeah.
return of investment of, okay, we want to move this thing. She said at
uh,
the end of the day, they might move it if she sees that it's going to do them more good.
Value.
She does not care if it takes $50,000 or whatever,
Yeah.
but you understand, she knows that, okay, at the end of the day, this is what they are going to, she wants the pros and the
And,
cons. Like I said,
yeah,
she
I
said,
can tell
just
you.
and even
she,
what
like
Obi just
she just
said,
said, give me eye level. I don't want a lot of pages. Just give me
Yeah,
yeah,
part, like
GG.
bullet points. Give me pros, cons, give me costing, and
Yeah,
that's why I
exactly.
put you for 3 weeks.
And
Like
yeah.
all those things
that's what
you
she
can
just said.
get from your technical team. You can even start and ask them, okay, what is the pro of staying where we are today? If it's
Simple.
too much, right? Just say, what is the pro of staying where we are today and not doing any migration? They tell you, you document it. Okay, what is the con of staying where we are today? Right? They tell you. Then you go and say, okay, what is the, considering the 12 month, if you don't want to go
But
deep into that.
why don't they want to do the 12 month? Like what is limiting them? What are the
Yeah,
limitations?
apart from the
Is it
time,
that they don't
right?
have much hands on deck or what's
Exactly.
happening?
So ask that as well. What is the pro of doing the migration in the first? There must be some good things that made them wanted to even have started the migration anyway for test and dev environment. So what are some of the pros? What are some of the things they were looking to achieve? You ask, they don't tell you, you document it. Then okay, what are the cons? Apart from the long timeline now, 12 months, is it that there's no resources? Is it that the configuration is too complex to achieve on production? Is it that it will disrupt business activity or things like that? So they tell you, with that, you already have pros and cons, right? Then you say, okay, you still need to ask, what are the things we need to do from that 12-month perspective and from the migration perspective? That will give you your scope. Then based on that, you can determine, oh, this pro outweigh the con, things like that.
Aside that, Nancy, you know the reason we're giving this context. I don't think that for us to really do our business analysis work, to just go and ask for pros and cons. They can tell me nonsense. I may not be able to fully support them. But if I
Mhm,
have the context of the system, like to some of the questions that we listed earlier, just even
mhm,
tell me why we started the work in the first place.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Explain to me what the data mapping layers are. Explain to me GIS. Someone explain to me what
Exactly.
GIS is. I want to know. You know those details. You will not even need to really ask for a lot of pros and cons because things will come up because you're getting into foundation. Because the danger in just going to pros and cons is you will always chase shadows on this project because you don't have the details. Do you understand? So for me, what I would be saying to that PM is, okay, based on the information that I have, I'll be working to the business case. But for me, it's important that I get into the details of what we had done before. So the business case is not what's going to even come first. You will provide a lot of really good details and you will add a lot of value, Nancy. You do your gap analysis, you understand their current state first. Who are we today? Do you get? So you want to fully, if I say, Nancy, what's GIS? You should be able to like fully say, oh, GIS is this is the data, this is the people, these are the things involved. Once you know that, then you can, you say, if you be able to add your own insight as a BA who is now doing the analysis. Because if we just go, that's why we didn't even start this meeting with how do we maintain current infrastructure, because it's like that's not the first thing. If you go, they will tell you, yes, we currently, it cost us this amount today, and yeah, we wanted to do this. That's not detail. You will now be feeding off Noah said, Kyle said. But if we started with, okay, I'm quite new in the business, and this is some of the things that I read, but I thought it would be really great to hear from experts like yourself as the users of the system, as people who have been in this company for quite a while. I'm really relying on your expertise on this so I can have as much detail as possible. You go there with your confidence. Like, this is not about maybe you've not done business analysis for a month because you were on maternity leave. It's you simply don't know GIS. I wouldn't know GIS as well because I don't use the system. So you want to know that. So I don't want you to get overwhelmed at all. You want to know that. Once you then know that, of course, you set the objective for this session, go with a slide, prepare a slide. So so you're not just talking from your head. Prepare a structure. This is what I currently know. What do I want to achieve at the end of that your session on Monday? Even if it is just to learn GIS and the data mapping layers, that would have already
But
added
are
a,
you sure I'll be able to deliver for 3 weeks?
yeah, definitely.
Yes,
Definitely.
now.
They want the business case in 3 weeks.
The one that does that two parts in that business case in
Definitely, you will even deliver more, Nancy. So trust me, people will ask for just what they need, but your work will show
Yeah,
them what they didn't think they needed to know. That's how we show value. She's just asking for what she needs to know. Key. But the details that you would do will make them think, oh my goodness, I wasn't even thinking about what Nancy did. Thank you. So you don't just
exactly.
focus on how one thing pros and cons, my love. You're focusing on you understanding it so you can help her. So that she will always respect you for life. You will give her what she wants is simple. Just gonna, it's not a big
It's
deal. She
simple
wants,
now.
for you will go that extra mile to understand the system, understand the work. So when you're talking to her, she's seeing a deep person. She's not just she'll be in a position to say, oh, actually, Nancy actually wasn't thinking in this direction. You see that will happen because you didn't just focus on it's just like someone said, business analyst, Nancy, go and give me scope and pros and cons. What the difference between a business analyst and just someone that is just working maybe as someone on the job is those are just going to ask for pros and cons. A business analyst wants to get into root cause. What is the like kilo shell go got why? And what is the problem? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That is how you will be able to provide even more than what she's talking. As people are talking, you'll be seeing risk, you'll be seeing benefit, you'll be seeing disadvantages. Before you even say, so what are some of the pros and cons? It will come up from that initial discovery. You should get in a position where you will be the one coaching this woman about what GIS is, what the data mapping layers are, the different complexities, what they did when we moved, our test servers, the dev servers, the production. Now we know that okay, there is the utility environment. We still have that chunk of work. You'll be able to provide robust details, and trust me, you can do that within 3 weeks. You even complete it. It's just structure phase one. You schedule another meeting. You can tell them, guys, my plan this week is to run a 5-day workshop or run a 5-day interview. I want to get into this. You do that for 1 week. You do second week to do your analysis, to take out where you start to now elicit, like synthesize all the information based on what they provided. You produce your documentation, small, 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 small. Do you get? So you can literally spend this week interviewing people, putting 30 minutes in their calendar. You will not ask all of this. You will not overwhelm yourself. Ask whoever you spoke to, oh, are there any other stakeholders that should come
Yeah,
along
yeah. I on Thursday, I already asked him if he has list of people that are involved,
will be
SMEs.
benefit?
So he
Yeah.
said yes, that he's going to share that with me on Monday.
Good.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
So
just talk. You just have fun, and it's like you're trying to find out information. Just like you do in normal stuff like event planning, you're trying to, oh, who do I need to talk to for this? What information do I need? Some of the things they'll be saying will lead to more
question.
questions on the spot.
Yeah.
But you already set yourself up for success with this conversation because now you're not just going blind. You have a lot of information to work with.
Yeah.
You know some areas you need to be looking out to build knowledge on. That is really it.
So for me, I would develop a PowerPoint presentation, talk about what I know. That is also a good way to validate.
Well,
Currently,
not today, oh, not now.
no, I'm
Like,
saying like in preparation for the session. So those are the things that will guide your conversation. Oh, I know that, okay, overarching, we want to move from on-prem to Azure. This is the information that have been provided. Does this align with your understanding? This is what I want to find out in this session. As I'm new as I'm new to the business, I've been privy to some documentation, but I wanted to find out from every
yeah,
single of you in this room, given that you would have that expertise, and I'm really, really keen to hear your thoughts on this. Like when we talk about GIS, this is what I currently know. I was hoping to get more details. Do you get? It's not I don't know what GIS is or something like that. You just use corporate language. They will tell you. From there you understand, oh, okay, this is the objective. This is what we want to do. What are the mapping layers? What are the different layers involved? What was the work that we did for us to know that we would require 12 months? Was there any documentation that I could read as well to provide some more detail? They will tell you, oh, it was based on this, it was based on that. This is da 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 da. And if we wanted to remain as is today, what's going to happen? Like how do we currently maintain the current infrastructure versus if we wanted to migrate to cloud?
which is the crux of what your job would be, interrogating people, asking questions, documenting it. But if you do a PowerPoint, just listing some of the things you want to talk about, it gives you a
Oh,
guide. Like you're not just like thinking on the
all
spot,
over the
like,
place.
oh, what am I going to ask? Like, what are the key things I want to get out of this meeting?
Yep.
These are the things I'm working. I want to, if you even give them, if you do this cheat code and you just say, hey, I want to like understand the scope of, involved to migrate GIS to Azure, and I want to like effectively know the cost implication of that plus the benefit. And you put that like part of the agenda in a
Yeah.
slide and things like that. It helps them know that okay, these are the kind of things that
You
I
want
should be
to
telling you you
yeah,
want to discover.
yeah,
And you'll be surprised how much they will tell you, even if that's what you just want to do.
honestly.
And then as they are telling you things about GIS, about what they've done in the past, you'll be able to then use some of the questions we've talked about earlier to just build up that conversation. So it is a flow.
Yeah.
And then when you learn more, you can come and discuss it again. We
Mhm.
can say, okay, these are the things. Okay, let's ask some of these follow-up questions.
Yeah.
Then you'll be able to establish your scope and then come up with budget. But you also need to know how they do budgeting, like how they calculate cost of anything in the
in the city, right?
yeah in
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 company.
your
And we
company.
call it city. We
Uh,
call it
Uh,
city.
in the city. Okay.
so yeah, the impact. We need to understand the impact. We need to understand the benefit, and we need to understand the risk. Always very important. Who are the users of GIS safe? Like,
Yeah,
who are the direct users? Is there going to be any impact to them? All of those things. Nancy, by the time you're done with this work, this woman, she will know that now she got a girl. Because from there, you'll be able to
April.
get gap analysis, you'll be able to get your impact analysis, you'll give her a business case. You'll be able to, how do you guys document your risk? How do they document risk in your company? Do you know?
Don't
You can ask them, like, you can even run a separate risk workshop, darling. Let's just brain dump on the risk. If I were you, me, I would not even model everything together because I want to be clear in my mind. I'm putting a 40-minute or 30-minute session to understand the risk involved and how do we mitigate them? Who is going to own the risk? Are there risks that we can avoid? Are there risks that we have to accept? All of those things. I said, you can use red log as a guide. But yeah, I think that if we have a structure in place, like you really enjoy this process because you also learn a lot from doing this type of project. Like it
Yeah.
has sounds very interesting to me.
It's
So
an
I
interesting project that will quickly give you authority,
honest,
especially,
you shine, you shine,
yeah.
you
Just
shine.
imagine like you pull
I
up
have
a
a question.
PowerPoint. Yeah.
Okay.
What if they say they don't have anybody that can do that whole 12-month thing?
They don't have the
Like,
resourcing.
Mm.
what if they say they don't have?
Resources, like,
Resourcing
Hey, that's not for you to worry about now. It's
yes.
information for you.
pass
It's
it.
information for you to add to your this thing. Okay, part of why they are not doing it now is because there's no resources to do the configuration
If
for
it has
12 months.
and if
Simple.
there's benefit to business, so for example, and that is why that lady is asking for benefit.
Yeah,
Knows how to attack. Okay, you've highlighted this benefit and you've highlighted this risk, but the team said, "Oh, Tayo, we actually don't have the resourcing for it." Okay, that's fine. Are we going to externally outsource, or do we need to do some recruitment? But that
exactly.
that decision cannot be made by that lady if she doesn't know how that benefits business. Even if it is intangible benefit, is it going to help us be more compliant, as an example? Or
No, you don't understand. So if there's nobody to do that job for now,
Yeah.
so um just
So
wondering.
if there's nobody to do the job in the organization, it is not for you to worry about. You're just doing
So
analysis. Or
what's your
is it?
concern? Now, let her get her thoughts right. Let her get her thoughts out.
so if there's nobody to do that job now, so is it my
So the
job to
migration
also
work, the migration or
did
the
that
data
12
mapping
month
layer.
thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it now my job to
Document
look
it as a
for,
risk.
yeah, I'll document it as, okay, this is why we're not doing it.
Yeah.
Then now look for options that
Yeah,
if we're
it's to
not doing.
recommend your
Recommend
your
solution.
ana- your analysis to recommend and give a picture of what is happening. If you get to a inference that they don't actually have somebody to do that 12-month work, right? Now, that's where you now put that fact on the table. Hey, based on my finding, we actually don't have that 12-month. So maybe the option is to hire or to get an external consultant
Oh,
or
so
whatever.
we'll now measure that the cost of external.
When you get to that
When you
point,
get to that stage, don't stress about
yeah,
it.
don't yet stress about that. You are still working on if you don't know, go and find out first. If they tell you, oh, actually, there's nobody to work on that 12-month thing, then you now get to another level of analysis. Okay, what are the options to get that job done? You should be asking that technical person. Okay, so there are no, oh, I get you. Like, so how are we going to?
Kunle, ó pariwo jọ.
Like, so let me give Nancy real life, because I've actually worked on a project where we didn't have the right resourcing. It is not headache, it is not business analyst headache. My own is to flag it. Oh, one as per my workshop or interview or conversation with Noah has expressed that one of the reasons why they've said this will require 12 months is actually because we don't have the right resourcing at the moment, or we don't have anyone who has the expertise within the team right now. You let them know, right? That is your information. Business can then make a call. So I would then be saying, like, okay, Nancy, I said, okay, that's fine. But this is important to us based on the benefit. Someone needs to make a call. Are we going to recruit someone? Do we want to get someone internally? Do you understand? So you as the BA, you're not part of that. You've given them what they want. Remember, they don't know that answer right now. You've given them the fact that, one of I can assure you that that will not be the only reason anyway. Like that would like it will not be their biggest reason. But if it is one of their reasons, is to say, okay, how could we then mitigate that? Are we going to get someone internally, or do we resource externally? And then we'll identify, okay, based on this. It actually happened for my project. We didn't have the right resourcing. They had to recruit, and that took like 3 months before they could get the right person. My own is there's nobody to do the job. You get us someone to do the job. We flag it. And that'll be part of some of your risk that you've identified. Lack of resourcing, it's a risk to the project, especially when the benefit has been identified. Do you understand? With your risk as well, you'll be able to identify, say it's a risk to the project. But it's not really yours to worry about. But yeah. in case it pops up, at least you know what to say to them. Like, okay, these are some of the things. So do you have a starting point now? Like, what would be your starting point? For me, I'll go and have fun. Your starting point is, this is what you know right now. You know, I know that we're moving from on-prem to Azure. GIS. Me, I don't feel like I don't know it. So you need to ask them. I would start from there, understanding what GIS is, what it really does, what type of data is out there, who are the users of the system. And then you let them know in this session. I guess the key thing for me would be really gaining an understanding of the scope that would be involved in migrating GIS to Azure. And I would also be keen to understand some of the impact, the benefits, as well as the risk that could potentially be involved. And then we'll take it one by one. But I think it would be really great if we delve deeper into what GIS is. So Nancy, would you be able to start the flow on this one? You start, oh yeah, Nancy, GIS is actually da 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 da. It does this, it does that, it contains this type of data. They will blab. And then from there, the song, so structure. But the reason I'm saying I have this structure is you can leave that session and feel like, God, what did they say? So you have that list of questions and make sure that your questions are touched. As I say, prepare a slide, maybe 1 to 3 pages or something, not to. So that way, as they're talking, you're documenting, you're putting things that you can record the session to Wawagbo discreetly in Ile or something like that. If they don't, if it's in person, maybe
I'll open my phone and do that.
once
Just
badge because all those things. So just for you, it's just for this stage anyway. Because if you understand it, so that way, as you're talking, like you're a competent BA, like you're not even a new to BA something. So you'll be talking to them with authority. If I don't understand what they said, I tell them, look, can you explain that in more detail to me? I'm not going to feel like, oh, because no, don't do that. Like, explain, confident. Maybe go and read about the system if you can, or if there are any other documentation that you've laid down. So don't really stress.
I
So
don't have any documents. I'm going to ask him, can I even see even that nonsense business case that they've done
you need that one. You
that,
definitely
that they
need that.
omitted the scoping and
You
that
need that one because
PD.
that is an existing documentation. I'm sure it cannot be completely useless. I'm sure it's
Exactly.
all you keeping. And this PM lady, you need to hold her closer and hold her accountable. She can't just dump things on you. You need to ask her for things as well. Like,
Because she was like, oh, talk to Fernando.
is she new? Did you say she's new?
He's new to this project. She should
She has
just
been
pick
in the
up.
company.
Yeah, but for this particular project,
No,
she's
that's
new to
fine. You
it.
can put her to work. Just make sure you get your stakeholders right. Do you have your stakeholder analysis that you've done to know, like, okay, who are the key people for my project, for this
I'll
work?
do that on Monday.
Good, good. So you start to build that. So from there, you can have all of them in. You start to know, oh, it is Fred, it is Noah, it is Taya, it is Nancy. Those are my core guys. It is Kunle, it is this. Because you need to have them in your mind. You can clarify plenty things. You get to, because you can't just go and be meeting maybe Fred, because Fred cannot know everything. There'll be other things that they're not talking about. So do that.
Remember that these guys are your colleagues now. It's not like you're going for interview.
No.
Remember, yeah, they are your colleagues. So these people are the people you have to be working with for
Yeah.
many years.
Yeah.
So you're an employee, you're not going for interview.
Nah.
So we should not be talking like I need to be prepping mentally, spiritually. Like you're going to talk to your colleagues
Yeah.
and you're going to just have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like we're having a conversation now because it's not an interview.
Nah.
You're an employee, they are an employee as well. So don't be under pressure like, oh, I have to be now. You're talking to, it's not an interview. If you are going for interview, then we can be doing, oh, these people, you don't know them, you want to get the job. You're not getting the job. That person that told you to cannot fire you.
At all.
They can't
Doesn't
fire
know
you. So you're an employee, she's also an employee.
him.
Have conversation like employee, not like an outsider. Yes, you are new, but you are the employee now. They are
Yeah.
your colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
So go there, and there's nothing like stupid question. I didn't just want to start with that.
Yeah.
You're new. That is the trick of the trade. Oh, yeah, you can
Not the trade
appreciate
yet.
I'm new. Can appreciate I'm new. I'm still trying to get up to like they understand. Nobody is mad. Like it's just like I come to your house and I say I want to come and improve some things. I don't know how you organize your things, right? I will ask you things you may say stupid question, but you'll be forgiving because you know that eléyìí ò mọ bí a ṣe ń ṣe nǹkan wa. So your skills is not in play there. Please don't feel like oh because I'm not sure of my your they hired you because you're the best. You beat many candidates.
Honestly.
So they can't fire you. They are your colleagues. Remember that. Be confident in how you talk and ask question even if it's silly question. From the silliness, you then learn that okay, maybe this is not what I should ask, then this is what I should ask. You learn and you grow. That's it. Forget about you are better than everybody there on that project
Be honest.
as a business analyst.
Correct.
It's very important to know that. So just go and have conversation. It is it is it is a known thing that we business analysts are
Yes.
paid to ask stupid questions.
Correct.
Right? We are paid to ask stupid questions, document so we can get to the right answer. We don't need to be shy of asking stupid question to now be wrong.
That one is bad.
So if I ask you stupid question and you correct me that oh that's not actually what it is, then I've learned, right? And I then go and document it. But I say, oh, I don't want to ask stupid question. I keep quiet and go and do the wrong thing. That is not the value that you bring to the table.
Nah.
So two things I'll leave you with. You're talking to your colleague. So diffuse all the pressure or whatever. You are all employees. Two, you're allowed to ask stupid questions. You are in fact paid to ask stupid questions so that you can get to the right answer. Number three, you can put the caveat, appreciating that I'm new. Sorry, I can ask you stupid question.
Even say sorry.
That's
Man.
fine.
Say sorry.
Oh, sorry, because me, I say sorry. I've not been able to get that out of my mouth.
Sorry.
But like, that's what I like. Oh, sorry, I'm a Joreri. Sorry, I can ask you stupid question. It's fine. When you say that, people normally laugh like oh, that's okay.
Okay.
Then you ask your question. Alright, so just diffuse all those things. Just free your mind. In fact, I would say don't even go and pen down anything. Just if you want, do
No,
that
but let's
PowerPoint.
happen. I know the way pregnancy brain works. I know I was there as well. Like,
No, OJ, you don't understand
babe, you
that.
cannot understand. Please
Okay.
let her write
No,
it down. Please, the way at this stage that she's even fully
I'm
breastfeeding.
not all right, OJ,
No,
I
no,
beg.
please let her just have that structure.
Okay.
Nancy, but what OJ is saying is real life. Like when the program manager on my project, when she resigned, they brought another project manager. As a matter of fact, sorry, program, you know, PM, program manager is orga of everybody. So this program manager actually interviewed me for my third stage of interview. They now brought him to my program because I'm in Bond Hospital when the other one resigned. Because he's new to the project. Yes, he has more experience than I am, but he doesn't know the project more than I do. So if we are in a meeting, you tell me, you say something like this. Oh, Tayo, I know this may sound a little bit like a stupid question. Literally, you will say it like that. And he will just ask, because if he doesn't ask, he cannot go and report to the exec because he doesn't know. And he needs me. Do you understand? That is even a senior. This person interviewed me. And he's not just a small person. He's been in the bank for like 15 years. Do you get? And every time he will put that caveat like, sorry, Tim, this may sound a little bit like a silly question, and I may be drawing us back, but as I'm new to the project, I just really want to get into the details. That is how it will start. So you smile about it. Nobody will ever say, "No, that girl doesn't know what she's doing." It's not because you're new.
Yeah, because I don't want that
No, I know
that
that. No,
Don't overthink
no,
things. Like I don't want.
no.
Even when you are not new, I'm just saying, just telling you up front,
Yeah.
right? We are paid to ask stupid questions, so we get to the right answer. You can check it, Google it. Business analysts are paid to
We need
ask
to make
stupid
a
questions.
video about that tonight.
Yeah, like you need to ask stupid questions to get to the right answer. That is why the first thing we do on a project is to know the objective, the context. what are we trying to do here? And it may be stupid to somebody that knows it all, those type of question, because they are like, oh, why is better asking me all this kind of nonsense question, waste of my time? But those questions are, see, think about it. When you go to the doctor sometimes, they will tell you, they will ask you all, some questions that you'll be like,
You're asking me
why are
for
you
my
asking
mommy.
me all these
My
stupid
mommy.
questions? Like, yeah, that is exactly the way it is. Why? Because they can't make mistake. They must ask you the most stupid question to you, because they need to have it like fact documented. That is the way our work is. You must not consider any question stupid. Of course, within the realms of work, right? So it's not like you ask them, oh, what did I eat yesterday? Or things like that. Of course, that, like, you know what I mean by, but stupid in the context of project is acceptable.
I mean, I'm again coming from the fact that I'm going to say it. I've not my previous role is not,
Yeah,
and to me that's how I say it. It's not. It was not an original BA role. The,
That's
yeah.
no,
You
I'm
don't,
telling you the truth.
yeah,
Yeah, so that I'm not going to be deceiving myself like I
mm,
had that
yeah,
original
yeah,
BA experience for the past,
yeah,
maybe I worked with them for like 8 months or 9 months.
yeah.
So coming into this organization, I was telling Kula, I said, now this is a BA role.
this feels like
Which is good.
Yeah,
BA.
this
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I can feel the atmosphere, I can feel everything, the process,
exactly.
how things are done, how meetings, all our meetings we're putting on our camera, how people are
Yes, now.
speaking,
Uh-huh.
but my previous one, we're not putting on camera, everybody was just everything, and we can
Mm,
see everything on the pipeline, all the project
mm,
dates, different PMs. Like, do you get?
Exactly.
So now this is business case now, and then I'm
There's
getting my head
maturity.
all that. You understand? I'm like, oh my God,
Nancy, is it an enterprise?
which one?
You
The
boss
whole-
city. The only city or to
The
the
whole of Gold
enterprise.
Coast,
Wow.
everything that is happening to being to anything that is happening to
Yeah,
council,
Oh,
to
but the
that's
man
being
is
great though.
sector.
management, to
Otherwise, you think
homelessness. Some people are under homelessness, some people are under
yeah,
library,
really good.
some people are under just even the share point of the whole council. We have like how many offices?
All of
Even
them.
in Bonda, there are like 3 buildings. We have in
Yeah,
Maryland, all of that. So it's the
And that's
whole
I
of
was saying it that
the
this
whole
is
of
a
Gold
good
Coast.
experience for you,
I love
because,
Yes, so
like,
in fact, even the
if
next
I
project that they
there's
want to
even,
put me on is
yeah.
around ServiceNow and SAP, all those
Eh,
big
that's good.
technical. Because my
Yeah.
line manager was like, Nancy, after this, I'm putting into the technical aspect. Working
Service
with
now is always a very
ServiceNow,
good
SAP has to do with BPN and processes, all those
backup.
things. So
you can
and
see.
they are in partnership with Deloitte too. So it's a very big.
Exactly. So, and the thing is, there's job security. So you can just, that's what I'm saying, for just forget about, of course we have to show up correct, but in the early stage of you settling in the process, please ask stupid questions so you get to the
Yeah,
right answer.
yeah.
It's
So
very important. Let's not be over,
mhm.
because that's the worst case scenario. If you go and do, oh, I don't want to ask question, or
And
I
they
don't
know
want to
that
some
question was an
We'll
important
chase
question.
shadows. All
question,
through.
then that's bad. That's bad. It's not the way to work. So don't let fear ruin your effectiveness. You want to be an effective BA, you must ask all the questions to get the right level of clarity, so you can get to the right level of inference or answer you want to get to. That is the most important thing. So, not wanting to ask questions sometimes comes from our ego. We don't want to hurt our ego,
Yeah.
because
And
if they
sometimes
tell us, oh, we feel like they will tell us, oh, sorry, you asked a stupid. How many times do somebody even talk like that? That they will say you asked a stupid question in the work. It's very rare. Like, people don't talk like that. People don't talk like that. Oh, you you just asked a stupid question. I mean, I've maybe Nigeria, Asha, but not here. I've not seen it happen here. Not one
Yeah, I
time.
mean, I think maybe, like you said, maybe I'm just scared, like, oh, from where I'm coming
Yeah,
from, like, oh, I don't want to, like,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
everything, like, I don't want to like
Yeah, yeah.
this.
I know, I know, I know.
I'm,
Just take it easy.
yeah, like I'm
Don't
just
let past experience make you feel like, I don't know what you're doing. But of course, where we know that, yeah, this is where we are, we should validate, have this type of conversation so
mm,
that it also helps you gauge, okay, am I on the right track? Is very important. Like having that, like she asks, now she doesn't need to ask me anymore. And the first month, uh, I used to tell her, go and, you are confident, go and do what you're doing. She will ask me, I'm like, go 2 months, 3 months. But now, like you get, there's nothing like that. I've never even been in any scenario she has said, oh, come on, do you have a thought on this thing recently? That's the growth. But you must be stirred into, and that's the good thing. So let's have this conversation. You have that conversation on Monday. If you feel like, okay, let's quickly bounce off 10 minutes, 20 minutes. This was all we discussed. What do you think I should do next? We can share the ideas. Okay,
Next
ask
step.
this, set next steps, right? And by the time you settle in, you don't need anybody anymore, right? Maybe sometimes, but you just grow into the role, and that's how it happens. You
okay.
understand?
Mm,
But yeah, don't overthink anything.
I'm
You're
overthinking
doing great.
actually.
Yeah, don't overthink anything. Remember, this is your job. You're going to be doing this time and time on different
Yes,
projects,
so I
different
work on
scenarios.
different projects. Yeah.
You work on different projects,
Yeah.
different projects. So please don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Um, we are doing great. So
But
please,
one call away. Okay. You know what they always
yeah,
say?
please,
The
oh.
foundation is destroyed.
For you to know that I had this thing, but I even dreamt the night. I dreamt that I was calling OJ. I said, OJ, I need to talk to you. OJ said, I don't have time.
Ah,
Don't
how will
worry.
I say I don't have time? I
Ah,
never even say to student,
eh.
talk less of
When I
you.
woke up, I said, no, this is not OJ.
No, no.
My
Lie,
head
That's
is
lie.
Dale. That's Dale. It's not.
That's not that.
no way.
No way that is
I said, if it's for
happening.
me to drive to Flatstone tomorrow, I will do.
There's no way. Even if we're having class.
Your head is going everywhere.
Don't overthink it, please,
But
please. Don't overthink it.
no
Like
worries.
you're,
Yeah.
You will love it. Honestly, I understand how you feel. When I first started my
yeah,
job, I just be like, ha, you know, too sunny meeting, by what's happening?
yeah, it
You
can
know,
feel overwhelming. Like, oh my
I'm feel
God, what
overwhelming.
kidney too so like,
And they
what
saying
is all these
What's
things?
going on?
But yeah, like you just feel like everything is like 200 kilometer per hour. But if you just continue to validate, talk
never
to
be good.
people, it's always like half solved. Once you do that, it is always. So
No.
please
Thank you
don't
very much.
stress it. Enjoy your weekend, then go plan. Just have a small plan for Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Schedule a meeting, things like that, and then you'll be
I
great.
mean, like you said, I'm not going to make that first 1 hour meeting too overwhelming if I
No,
know.
Thank you.
not too much.
Thank
I'll just
you.
get back to him, and that way I'm
Thank
even like
you.
taking my time to understand like the first 30 minutes
Exactly.
what to talk about. I
Yeah.
think 1 hour is even too much
Even
I
if
sometimes.
you
have
can
it
just
for
ask
you.
for document,
Yeah.
like a story document. If they have, it will be the
Bring
first thing.
her.
Let me even know about GIS a bit more.
But
Let
that's
me read the
foundation.
Yeah, so when I'm
Foundation.
having conversation, like it's just smoother. But in any case, have a chat. It can just be like, oh, yeah, lovely to meet you. Thank you for,
Nancy, I'm your new
joining.
BA
Yeah, and I'm here to learn everything. I
about
really
GIS.
am like, yeah, just like again, you're talking to your colleagues.
Yeah.
You're not talking to a stranger in an
Interviewer
interview.
or people interviewing you. Hello, my girl.
Oga.
Hello, baby. O ṣáà fẹ́ gbọ́ GIS.
I see.
O ṣáà
Wait.
fẹ́ participate ní GIS, Ariella. Eh? You sef wan do GIS. How are you, lovely girl? Good?
Hey, Arela, big girl.
Yes, sir.
Arela.
looking at you like that.
Another is looking at me like, who's this person?
Smiling. She's about to crack a smile. Half mama. Good girl. Good girl. Kole, have fun now. How
Hey,
your weekend?
Fine. No, thank God.
Alga, how you doing now?
Fine,
Ẹ
fast.
pẹ̀lẹ́, ẹ kúṣẹ́.
First, now I want
I'm
key
not
person.
tired. Oh,
Ẹ
well,
pẹ̀lẹ́.
I've not slept since yesterday.
oh.
Ah,
Yeah.
Hope you're not.
that was up.
No,
So
he
I
went
went
for
from
night
night
shift
shift to
Oh,
program.
Okay.
to
So,
church program, and now he's back.
oh.
now they
Okay,
go-
any church program, Lale?
No,
No, he went night shift yesterday. Came back this morning. Church program this morning.
That's
Oh.
true. Did
Till
you
that time I called you, but he stayed back
Ah,
because of rehearsal. But me, I left. So he
You're
just
not
got
working
back,
tonight.
and I told him, eh?
Hope you're not working tonight.
No, no, no.
Thank God.
So when he got back, I told him I'm having a meeting with you that you should carry her. And Mama, she has been crying.
Oh no.
uh,
Mama.
missing mommy. No, you should have brought her now. It's not like we're
As
doing.
they do
No, no,
GIS,
no.
so they
Really,
no go singer.
now that we've spoken like a
Yeah,
hand,
this
my
time,
head.
yeah, no,
But at
no.
that time, yeah,
You've got this, you've got this. Let's go and chat with them. They're your colleagues, and they will be their experts. You know, like
Yeah.
they rely on you for all of this information.
You know, you get to a point where when they need information and Nancy they could define up
Yeah.
and down.
Now you then go
So
to find.
yeah, so you note all those people that gave you credit,
Yeah.
like that helped you settling,
Recognition and all.
and yeah, so it's very important. That's why people always help because it go need you for front. My colleagues, it will need you to in
And,
front when
and
you
if-
settle.
when someone comes now and they're talking GIS, if you just download it to them, right? Like it's feel
yeah.
like, oh my goodness, have you spoken to Nancy? She's the GIS expert. Like,
Exactly.
tell you every single thing. But you can't know that if we go and start from if we go and start from if you go and start from pros and cons and we don't actually start about what is this system, what does it do, who are the users, who are the people there. So that way you have it for life. You're the custodian of that knowledge. Nobody, even this auntie that is asking you, why our coach when you are to myself this system does this and does that, and that is why we learn and have those ones in the background. So it's good, it's good. I shared you
Yeah, I opened it already. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
just a
much.
short video on business case as well, so you kind of know like the important things. It will also help you appreciate that other work. There's no business case without cost, without benefit at all. So yeah.
Yeah, just see it simply like, oh, I want to buy a new car. What's the business case? What's the benefit? How much does the car cost? Why would I spend that money on the car rather than something else? Right? So all those things are like what we do informally in our lives.
Yeah.
So it's just great to in business context, we just formalize it by writing it down.
Maybe I
I'm
shared your
considering.
video. I shared the 7.5-minute video.
I'll.
It's very nice and short and has the details, so it's good.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank
Oh,
Oh God, I beg, get some rest,
yes,
oh.
so please, Nancy, let's fully rest. So don't give him Mariella, please.
I'll try. I'll try and sleep tonight.
Yeah, please.
You not tell OJ say you don't leave. I told her you don't leave.
I know
Nah,
I
you were
think
telling
I
us
know
now
some
that
seriously.
he said you should come
they
to work.
negotiate
Eh?
or
No,
negotiate.
the project is very intense, so they need.
They say Monday to Friday. I'm like,
it's very intense.
hello, she speaker. I'm like, I beg, no, me, I want to work my work.
But when what do they mean by Monday to Friday? Like,
Like
are you
Monday to Friday, physically in the office. We do
8 to
presentations
5.
ah
for stakeholders. So they want to we tell stories immediately. Like they can give me a task now, and when extract this data, quickly present it to this stakeholder. So when I go in front of that stakeholder, so now look at it this way. I'm sharing screen all the time. They are not seeing me physically. So the stakeholders wanted to even okay, this is the person I'm dealing with. So this is this person
and sorry to cut you short. The days now is just 2 days in a week, and me now I'm like it's too much work for me because I think was it last week or upper week, he had to do 3 days.
Yeah.
It's too much work for me because only me and Arella and I'm
During work
in front
hours.
of the system.
Crazy.
I can't.
Crazy.
So
Wow.
now going into the office Monday to Friday, how?
When
You
my
find another one, Kunle, that does
No,
it.
you find,
No,
and now
better.
you
I'll-
validated what is possible.
Yes, now he'll be fine. It'll be okay. It's for a better cause.
Cause even girls have gone, most of my job is even in addition to like what a BA does. You understand?
I said you should go and look for BA job.
Because
Now, Kunle, look for BA.
Seriously, I thought I said go and look for BA.
Like,
Because
Yeah.
for BA you can still stay remote.
Yeah, just
You should come and join the BA gang.
Yes, so
now I know what to do when it comes to
you know, like BA is so data analysis or analysis is a subset of business analysis. So that's why, you know, it's always nice to just have that broader thing so you can do expand and apply to BA roles and, you know, explore more opportunities. But
And
yeah,
I feel that there are not that I feel, I know that there's more BA opportunity than data.
yeah, there is because for most organization, data, they might just need maybe 1 or 2 data analysts to help them with insight, but they can have like 4 or 5
BAs.
Yeah, so that's why there's
And
more
again,
opportunity.
a data engineer is doing what a data analyst would do. So
Exactly.
instead of them recruiting data analysts, they prefer to use a data engineer to do everything because they can even do pipelines, you know.
Yeah, cost effectiveness.
As well. I should go. Thank you.
Thank you so
Anytime.
Let's
much.
catch
Thank you
up
so
again
much.
once you do the session.
Yeah, let's catch up. Just let
definitely. Yeah, so we know what next. But thank you.
No
Thank you
worries.
for the confidence.
No worries at all. All right, now.
Bye bye, my darling girls.
Bye-bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye bye. All right.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Yeah.